Hey, this is Mr. Ng going over the SHS Precal second semester PTA video project. Students will incorporate their knowledge of trigonometry and technology to show mastery of content through a video. Projects are due April 22nd, 2019, Monday at 8 a.m. The website timestamps projects automatically, which means they will be turned in before then, or be deducted 10 points per 24 hours. So very similar to your first semester projects. Step 1 is to think of a theme and a partnership. Students will pick 2 others within their class to form a group of 3. So now the difference is now you guys are in groups of 3. Extra credit if Mr. Ring picks your partners, 8 points to your whole group. Make sure you guys find a computer and camera, test the quality, sound, and volume. And part 1, you guys will just pick a partner and a school appropriate theme. That is due by February 12th, Tuesday. And when you guys get a stamp, that'll be worth 5 points. Step number 2, let's see if I can zoom in here. Too much. Step 2 is your knowledge and evidence of the math content. Students will make sense of problems and persevere them. Standards of students' mathematical practice, SMP number 1. Annual reason, abstracting quantitatively, SMP number 2. Make sure to show all your work neatly and show plenty of work. So basically in part 2, you're going to pick 2 trig concepts or problems and write them down. So basically if you scroll to question page 3, right there it says part 2. So basically you draw or pick your own problem, okay, and you write it down there. You can make it up, you can fill in context and pictures right there as well. So you're not doing any of the problem, you're just picking a problem. And then on page 4, that second problem you do as well. Part 2 is due on March 22nd, Friday. That's 5 points. You guys stamp there. Part 3 is due the week after. And part 3 is basically work out the 2 trig concepts or problems. So the problem you just found, you pick the theme for part 1, and then you just write your partner's names down here. That'll give you the stamp for part 1. But for part 3, then you're going to have to actually work it out. Work it out. Then your video will be incorporating your theme and then explaining and showing your math. So if you think about it, when I teach your math class, hopefully you want me to explain it with words and point to it. Step 3 is your math accuracy. Make sure you guys attend to precision by double checking your work. Step 4, you guys are going to do some editing. Students will incorporate tools strategically, so using your phones, computers. Students will edit the video by ensuring it fits the required time limits, including lyrics and subtitles. On the video, I can see it itself. Removing wasted time on the video. So long introductions, like 1-minute introductions, are very, very bad. Your introduction should be like 20 seconds or less. Adding bloopers and outtakes, uploading on YouTube, and turning in your video on my website. Videos will have the time requirements plus extras at the end. You must have a video between 2 minutes 45 seconds and 3 minutes 15 seconds. Basically aim for 3 minutes. You should have a rough draft of your video on April 16th on Tuesday. That's worth 6 points. And when you guys are doing your rough draft, again, I only need to see a minute of your rough draft. But if you are having like a 1-minute introduction of your 3 minutes, that's too long. Again, your introduction should be about 20 seconds. So if you just show me an introduction, I'm not going to give you a stamp for your rough draft. Step number 5 is your capstone reflection. Your capstone reflection is due on April 19th on a Friday. At the very end, students will complete a Savannah High School capstone reflection sheet and turn in a shared Google document along with your video link. So just click on that, make a copy. Step number 6, details. Details on your video include the date, period, school, and teacher name. Students will also turn in a scoring rubric, which we'll go over next. On YouTube, tag Pre-Calculus 2018/2019 and Savannah High School and Mr. Mathing. Do not include your names on the video. Make them up. You could be Captain America, you can be Captain Marvel, you can be Gwen Stefani, you can be Jay-Z, you can be anybody you want, but do not include your real student name. In your videos, I will show you after the scoring rubric how to turn in your projects. Basically, go to my website, click on Pre-Calculus, and then you'll basically have 2 links ready for me. Remember, you get extra credit if you show Savannah pride by wearing school colors, uniforms, and gear. You can also borrow from people. It's also nice when your themes, you guys kind of dress up. I like that. Together, or have others shout out "I love math" in a public place, like the middle of lunch, getting all your friends to do that. Maybe your softball team, going to the mall and having your uncle scream out "I love math." That'd be awesome. Go ahead and write your names right there below. Let's look at the scoring rubric. So in our scoring rubric here, let's type Control Alt plus. Too much. Okay, so you're gonna pick a theme, and then it's creative, it's visible, somewhat creative, kind of visible, difficult to see. So remember, you want the advanced, you get 4 times 2. This is only worth 8 points out of the 100. Okay? The biggest one is the multiply here, 11. 11 times 4 is your math, 44. So how do you get the most amount of points here? Its project includes 2 advanced indirect word problems. Displays more than enough digital math evidence. So what is the advanced indirect word problem? Basically, you're measuring the height of the objects, but not directly. You're doing that by you're standing away, you don't know that distance, and then you take 50 steps back. You did multiple of those problems in class. So go out and measure a really tall object, like the Angel Stadium Big A, maybe the marquee in front of the school, maybe there's a really big tree in the park. What does it mean to display more than enough digital math evidence? So I don't want you guys taking pictures of your packets, because it's sometimes hard to read, your writing's not nice, there's a lot of erasure marks. So redo it on either computer would be nice. You can download something called Math Type. In this category here, it says 2 basic indirect word problems. So indirect is that you're measuring, say, the height of a tree, but then you only measure about this height, because that's the part of the triangle, and then you just need to add the height of your eye to the ground. So the height of, say, a big building is the green part of the triangle plus the orange, and then to measure the angle, you can use your phones or build a clinometer. Over here, this one says 2 word problems, 1 indirect and 1 direct, so a combination of these 2. And then a very basic beginning problem is just 2 direct word problems. So you're lying on the ground, and then you measure the angle of elevation, what's the height of the tree, something like that. Step number 3 is your math accuracy. So basically, I'm just watching your video, and I can pause it, rewind it, I write down the math problems. If I see any or hear any errors, then I deduct it from there. So that would be out of 12 points. Another 12 points is your recording and editing. So from previous semesters, you're going to post it on YouTube. You're going to turn it on through my website. You should have lyrics and project details in the comment sections. Lyrics is just in case I can't hear you clearly. Subtitles on your videos just in case I can't hear you or understand you. Professional editing. Students can be heard clearly. So again, test your videos. Just do a quick run, 10-second funny video, and then upload it and just listen to it. Because a lot of times I hear just other stuff. I hear the background music. I hear your sister screaming. I hear your friends talking in the background. Here I put out the timeline. So your video basically you should have between 3 minutes. If it's outside this time, then you get deducted points. And then basically just hearing you less and less, and then your videos are getting longer and longer. So if it's too long, I'm going to mark it over here. And then let's just say I click on it the first time and it says your YouTube link is private, you're going to get penalized. Step 5, remember you only need to have 1 capstone reflection for the 3 of you guys. Basically for each of those, I'm looking for 3 complete sentences, so literally counting the complete sentences. Since there's 3 of you guys in a group, you guys can each read the Google document and make sure there's no grammar or spelling mistakes. And you shared that Google document link with me, not through email, but by sharing it through the Google form, which I'll take you through. And then, again, a common mistake is not sharing that Google document with me, the capstone, and then when I click on it, it says you need permission. That's like turning in something late. That would be deducted points. Details, that's only 1 times 4, so not much. But basically, not having your names on the project, turning in the scoring rubric, and then again, you guys making some marks and points on here. So let's say, for example, you think you should have the highest score, 11 times 4. I should see a number like right there, 44. And then let me explain this bottom part here. If you look at the bottom part there, it has the extra credit. So if you have all 3 of those, Savannah Pride, in a public place you're saying I love math, and then you get me in your videos, just come by, stop by, then you'll get the extra credit 2 times. So I increase it from last time, 2 times 4, you max 8 points. And then that just, this one has all 3, but you're not as loud. Penalties, maritime, every time you're 1 day late, so up to 24 hours is 1 day late, you're getting minus 10 points off of this video project. Let's just say the 2 of you leave a 3rd person behind and you don't include that person, and it will subtract points. And again, if I randomly pick your partner by putting your name in a hat and I withdraw it, then you guys get a +8. That video score of 100 is added to the number of stamps you get. And you divide that, you add those 2 together, you get this number. If you divide that number by 3, those are your individual scores. Let's talk about how to turn in this project. So you go to my website. Come on, internet. Go, go, go. We just had a lot of rains. There it goes. Oh! Right, just turn in your projects. Then you can go over here on the left side, math by subject. Remember, I'm on a desktop, so if you're on your phones, you'll see a little bit of like a square, like a door with arrow. You can click on that, and you get the side panel. And then you're going to click on pre-calculus. Remember, did you guys know that you have the textbook online? If you click on these, you have all the Google Slides, and in there also organizing all of my videos. And then you're going to turn in your project. So you just type in your email address. What period are you in? I'm in, I don't know, 5th period. And then you have your name, Mr. last name Ing. Wait, Mr. Ing. This is Mrs. Ing. And then contact information for me is mrmathing@gmail.com. And then mrsmathing@gmail.com. And then you go to your capstone reflection. You get a link. Let's say I come over here. And let's just say this is my capstone, which it's not. Go up here, copy. Go back over here, paste. Go to my YouTube video. Oh, we can just click on one of my old ones. Oh, that's a good thing to show you. So let's just say you want to see some old projects. Click here to see if your project was accepted. This was last year's projects. Let's see if they're here. It should be blank for now. If you go to the bottom, there's first semester. These were your projects from last time. If you go to trigonometry, there's some old ones there too. Wait, cancel. Click here to see if your project was accepted. So this was last year's projects, and then orange there I have my top 3 projects in orange there. Game plan wrap, they called it, so you might click on this. Let's see if they shared it with us. Oh no, come on internet. Don't do it to that to me. Anyways, you can just take that link, copy, go back here, paste it, tags it on YouTube, sure. Go through these. Did you find project difficult? No. Mrs. Ing working with me using technology. Project suggestions, none. Anything else? Have a great day. and then you press submit, like that. So your project has now been submitted, and then if you click here to see if your project was accepted, internet's down, it'll show up. And that's how you do your projects.